Hello everyone, my name is Asisipho and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video guys, we are going to be answering a grade 8 natural sciences revision booklet that basically consists of questions from previous question papers. These are term 1 and term 2 content questions. And in this video, we're going to be covering 10 multiple choice questions and 5 terminology questions. In the next video, we are then going to be covering section A, which consists of short questions. Which consists of short and long questions. Now, let us get through section A without wasting time. During the test for starch, a green leaf is placed in boiling alcohol to do what exactly? You're given 4 options, guys, and remember, these are 4 possible answers. You need to choose the correct one. So the correct one will be option B. During the test for starch, a green leaf is placed in boiling water to extract or to remove chlorophyll. And we know that chlorophyll is basically the green pigment that we find in our leaves. Which one of the following is arranged from the largest to the smallest? This part is very important, guys, because in other questions they are going to ask you for the arrangement from the smallest to the largest. Now, if you look at the 4 options given, already option A and option B are incorrect because they are starting with population and ecosystem, and these two are not the largest. We know that the largest is the biosphere. So we then focus on option C and option D, because the biosphere, there's a biosphere for C and D, then ecosystem, then only the third word basically tells us which option is correct and which option is incorrect. The correct option for 112 will be option C. It will be the biosphere, ecosystem, community, then population as the smallest. Question 113 and 114 are based on the diagram of the food chain below. So you are given a food chain, guys, here. So you have to study the food chain and answer the questions. In the food chain, we are having our first organism, that's the grass. Then we're having an arrow, we have a locust, arrow, frog, arrow, and the snake. 113. What do the arrows in the food chain above indicate? The arrows that we have here on our food chain, what do they indicate exactly? This is a very popular question, guys. Do they indicate trophic levels? Do they indicate who consumes or eats whom? Do they indicate flow of energy or a common food chain? The arrows in the food chain, guys, indicate the flow of energy. So this will be a flow of energy from the grass to the locust. This arrow is indicating flow of energy from the locust to the frog. This arrow is indicating flow of energy from the frog to the snake. So how you need to analyze this is that when the locust feeds on the grass, it obviously receives energy. Same with the frog feeding on the locust. Same with the snake feeding on the frog. Okay, then 114, in the food chain shown above, which organism is the autotroph? Right, we need to remind ourselves of what the word autotroph means. When we are saying an organism is an autotroph, let me just scroll up, sorry. When we say an organism is an autotroph, guys, we're basically talking about an organism that is a producer. So this is normally green plants that are able to photosynthesize. These are organisms that are able to make their own food. They are regarded as autotrophs, organisms that cannot make their own food, which are basically consumers. They are referred to as heterotrophs. Okay, so from our food chain, the organism that is an autotroph is obviously the grass. Hence, option D will be the correct one because the grass will undergo photosynthesis in order to make glucose, and oxygen will be the byproduct. 115, which one of the following causes malaria in humans? Fungi, protista, bacteria, viruses. The answer is protista, a parasite called the plasmodium. which we find in the kingdom Protista, is the one that is going to cause malaria in humans, obviously transmitted by the female Anopheles mosquito. Okay. What are the horizontal rows on the periodic table called? Are they called groups, columns, families, or periods? Horizontal, we're moving from left to right. They are called periods. Okay. Then vertical ones will be called groups. If an atom has 12 protons in the nucleus, if an atom has 12 protons in the nucleus, then it must also have what in order for it to be neutral? Does it need to have 12 protons around the nucleus, 12 neutrons in the nucleus, 12 electrons around the nucleus, or 12 electrons in the nucleus? The answer is definitely C, guys. It will need to be 12 electrons, and these electrons are around the nucleus. 118. Which of the following is a property of a solid? Okay. Phases of matter. It flows, the particles slide past each other, it undergoes a phase change, or it has a defined shape. The correct answer will be D. Remember, guys, to answer these questions with me, you pause the video and you answer the question and let me know in the comment section how many you got correct. Okay. Very, very, very important. I need to know how many you got correct, my darlings. Melting is the change in state of a what? Liquid to solid, liquid to a gas, solid to a gas, or solid to a liquid. 119, option D, solid to a liquid. Last question for multiple choice. Water is different from other substances because it is what? More dense as a solid than a liquid, less dense as a solid than a liquid, more dense as a solid than a gas, and less dense as a solid than a gas. The correct answer is option B, less dense as a solid than a liquid. Okay. Question 1.2. Terminology. Give one word or term for each of the following statements. A subatomic particle with a positive charge. What is that, guys? This one you should know. That's a proton. The spontaneous spreading of particles from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. That is obviously diffusion of substances. The amount of mass per unit volume, that is density. A substance that cannot be broken down into simpler substances by chemical methods, that is an element. Matter that can flow and does not have a specific shape, that's the liquid. All right, that's the end of this video, guys. Please check out the next video to see or to basically get answers for section B. In section B, we are having short and long questions. All right, thank you, guys.